If you saw this video a few weeks back, you know I really love Alex Syberia, which is a UK-based company that was newer to me. They asked me if I wanted to create with their Christmas in July release, and I was so excited I said yes. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be sharing some of the new supplies from the Alex Syberia Christmas in July release. This video is also part of a YouTube hop and there are giveaways. So be sure to go down to the YouTube description box below this video and I'll share all the information on how to enter to win. So first, let's take a look at the supplies that Alex Syberia sent me to work with. This is the large Merry Christmas die and hot foil plate. You can see in the die set you get the word die and the shadow die, and then the hot foil plate can also be cut out with the shadow die. So it's a great combination of Merry Christmas. These are the Christmas sentiments stamps and die set. So the stamp set has a number of different sentiments. I love how one is curved, one is script, one is block font, and the dies cut out all of those sentiments as well as the little images that are on the stamp set as well. So the little Christmas tree, the little stars, it's just a great set for the holidays. This is the Sparkly Flakes cover die. It cuts out the rectangle, it's an A2 size rectangle, as well as the little sparkly elements that it just die cuts all of those little lines. This is the Elegant Stripes hot foil plate. I love this hot foil plate. It is a great versatile one for Christmas and beyond. This is the snowflake layering die. You get two different dies, the snowflake and the shadow, but you can see you can cut the shadow twice for a different look. This is the Jingle Bell Joy die set. You get the bells that are layered, as well as some pine boughs, some holly, and some little berries. It's a great little set that you can put together just with die cutting a very cute little cluster that you can add those little bows with, and these are the Pretty Bows die set. So two sizes of bows. They are so cute with their loops. This is the Winter Foliage die set. Again, you have some pine, you have some berries. It goes well with that bow die set that we just looked at, or it can be used alone. Now let's use those supplies to make some cards. I'm going to start with the snowflake layering die set. Now, the snowflake layer has a bunch of little pieces that pop out. So for that, I like to run it back and then forth through my die cut machine, unless I'm using some type of shim. I didn't think it required a shim, and it didn't. You can see that just by running it back and forth, most of those pieces just popped out on their own. For the shadow, I'm going to cut it out in vellum, and look at how pretty the white looks on the vellum. But I thought I'd do another snowflake card, so I've cut two shadows out, one out of pink and one out of blue, and then another snowflake out of the white. So we're going to layer these all up and create two different cards. But first, I wanted to cut the sparkly background die, and this comes out so beautiful. Just check out all that detail that comes out from that die cut. And you can see how the snowflakes just look beautiful on top. It looks great in color cardstock, also looks great on white. I know it's harder to see in the camera, but it definitely looks like so much nice, subtle background detail. I thought bows would be a nice touch. It kind of makes these ornaments, these snowflakes look like ornaments. And of course, I wanted some sentiments, so I went for the Christmas sentiment stamp set. I have Peace and Joy stamped on the same light blue cardstock that I have one of the backgrounds for the cards on. And then I have Choose Joy Every Day. It's that curved sentiment. I really wanted to try that on white cardstock, and I'll hold those dies in place with a little bit of washi tape. Then a little liquid glue behind one of the white snowflakes, and I can adhere that right down onto my vellum. Definitely a little liquid glue there to make it stick to the vellum is a really great idea. The two bows I cut out of silver mirror cardstock, and I'm going to layer them on top of each other. I just love the way all those loops and the ends look together. Now that I have the white snowflake on the vellum, I can flip it over and put a few little foam squares all around the parts that are white that you can't see through the vellum. This way way I'll be able to pop up this snowflake, and it looks really pretty with that little touch of dimension so you can see the vellum more clearly. Then I'll pop up the peace and joy sentiment that I die cut, and last but not least, I'll put a little liquid glue behind the double bows, and that completes this card. So super simple, but so much fun to create and really pretty outcome, very easily created. All right, for the second snowflake card, I have the two colors, the pink and the blue shadows, and I'll adhere them just like the example on the back of the die set, where you turn it just a little bit so that you see the blue peeking out from in between that pink. And I'll do the same exact thing with the white. I'm using liquid glue behind that as well. Because it's 3 layers of cardstock, I didn't think it needed to be any more popped up, except for I want it popped up off the back of the card. So I do have some large foam squares back there, and I'll just place this down on that sparkly background. The curved little stamp sentiment, choose joy every day. I have some small foam squares that fit perfectly behind that curved banner. And then for this bow set, I cut them out of craft cardstock, and I thought it looked really cute, like twine sort of string that would be on a package. So I have that adhered down, and I realized the way that I adhered it sort of lower down on the snowflake, I wanted to tuck the tails underneath the sentiment. So I did peel them back very carefully off of the snowflakes. They were on some foam squares, and there was just one tail that I had to snip, but the other ones I was able to peek back behind that exact place where the sentiment is in the center of the snowflake. For this next card, I'm starting out by foiling the large Merry Christmas hot foil plate. I'm using my glimmer machine. I have some gold foil adhered down with just a little bit of washi tape so that I can wrap the foil around an A2 piece of white cardstock. I'm using Hammermill cardstock. It's nice and smooth. And then once the glimmer machine's nice and hot, I'm able to pull out the platform, layer the plates on top, and when it comes out, there is no smearing. It's a great application of foil because that foil was staying in place. Then I used the shadow die to cut out, and I just absolutely love the way that Merry Christmas script looks. I think it's so pretty. I'm using the winter foliage die set, and I have some distress oxide ink in Rustic Wilderness and a small shader brush, and I'll just add a hint of color on the edge and tips of these little pine boughs and little leaves because I feel like it just adds just the perfect amount of interest to die cuts. They are absolutely adorable and so much detail as it is without the inking. You don't need to add it, but I always like the way it looks when I do. Another way to cut out that sparkly background die is to place an A2 piece of cardstock right inside the die cut lines of the rectangle, and then you'll get it cut out as well. And the last thing I want to do here is add some berries. There are some really cute berries in the winter foliage die set. So I have one of the little stems, and it's got 4 little berries that you can adhere down to it. And I've cut out some extra berries, which we'll use to decorate the card. I decided to use little slices of foam tape behind the Merry Christmas because I had some foam tape already cut down, but it would be easier probably to die cut fun foam out of that Merry Christmas shadow to pop that up. I'll use a little bit of liquid adhesive to place some of the leaves and pine boughs underneath both the Christmas and then on top of the Merry. And just a little bit, I'm dropping things, which is not great when it's got liquid glue on it, but it all ended up fine. So I'm just putting the liquid glue on the ends of these little die cuts so that the tops of them won't get adhered down. And that gives you the ability to just kind of splay it up a little bit so it has a little bit of extra dimension, even though you're not popping it up on any kind of foam adhesive. So just some liquid glue at the bottom, enough that you're sure it's going to stay stuck down behind your Merry Christmas, but not so much towards the top where then you can sort of pick up the top of the leaves. Actually, even on its own, they sort of do that. They sit that way. So it just makes it look, I think, a little bit more natural and not so flat to the card. I did adhere down the entire stem with the berries. I just didn't want it going anywhere or sliding around. And then I have some extra berries, so I add drops of liquid adhesive around the stems, under the stems, near the stems, and then use an embellishment tool to pick up those berries and add them in as little accents. Such an easy, elegant card to create with mostly just die cutting and foiling. In August, I'll be using these products to make a couple of videos for the Alex Syberia YouTube channel. So be sure to follow me on Instagram so you'll be able to see links to those videos there. And before you head out, don't forget to go down below and check out all the details for the YouTube hop. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Today. I was really going well. That phrase, I just couldn't get it out.